Welcome to this Rules We Got Wrong for our Warmachine BatRep number 5. This was a 20-point game between my Trollbloods and Ben's Merceneries. So we'll start off, if you haven't seen it yet, there's a link right there, and you can click on it and watch it. And while you're watching it, I'm going to have a cup of joe. That's good joe. So now you've had a chance to click. I'll keep the link up there for a minute or so. So it was the first game of the new year. Ben and I both brought a, well, I don't think I actually brought anything new to this one because I don't think I had anything painted. But Ben brought some of his new stuff. So we'll just jump right into comments. Comments come from YouTube, Mini Wargaming, and the Privateer Press forums. I put it up on Daka, and I've actually just started putting it into the Hordes Jeep or Google Plus community. So if you haven't joined that yet, it's just starting off. It's pretty good. We've got some good, nice mix of people commenting, photos, battle reports, everything. So it's a nice little feed to follow. So if you're not there, check it out. Okay, so we'll start off with comments from YouTube. Well, there was a, I used the Cricks turn 1 instead of the Mercenaries, which was pointed out by Ben. But he knew that. I don't know why he felt the need to point it out. So Jarrett Hutt on YouTube said he likes the reports. Keep them up. I plan on it. Thank you. Dan Solo and Argo Fonts both commented about my pronunciation of Rosetta. No, I'm mispronouncing it. Rosanetta. Now I was going by what Ben had pronounced on camera, so I'm throwing Ben under the bus and saying it was his pronunciation that I was following because I've been known to mispronounce things on occasion. So going forward, Rosanetta. There we go. So. Thank you to Argo Fonts for that one. I had a question talking about terrain, how much we put on there, and Malussus commented, terrain looks good, I just add a few linear walls and obstacles, which if you see the next game, we actually added some of those. Vishy Swab from Mini Wargaming, same thing, Cricks turn 1, just I cut and paste from the last file and just dump the stuff in, and every now and then something slips by. D-Man971 on YouTube said, how is he able to use his focus to heal itself? This doesn't make any sense. And this is something Ben explained, and I've talked to a number of people that said, yeah, you can do it. I can't find it in the rule book anywhere. And actually had a friend of mine look at Battle College, and Battle College said you can do it. But I can't see anything in the rule book that specifically says a Warcaster can use focus to heal damage points. So if anyone out there can comment below and put a page number or a reference where that is, because I know the last time I said I couldn't find anything, it was blatantly obvious. So I actually scoured the rule book, went through as much of it as I had time to, and I can't find it. So if anyone can either confirm or deny, and if you can confirm, just comment below where that is in the rule book to make sure we go forward, we're doing it the right way. Spectra Seance from Mini Wargaming. The Warjack should have stopped at the caster. You can't assume other models. The model charged, he should be doing extra die of damage. I think that was missed. There's a couple times I think we didn't quite catch the camera, but my understanding when you slam someone, it hits the person behind it. So that the fact that the Warjack shouldn't have stopped at the caster, he would go right through and then knock the guy down as well. He sometimes get moved out of the way, but he's still going to be knocked down. Oh, maybe that's what he's talking about. He can't be. No, he said he can't be slammed through other models, and that's not incorrect, or that's incorrect. My understanding. Again, if I'm wrong, comment below. From part 3, Sylph Rock said, "Cool report as always. Unless he's outside the half-inch melee range, I really can't tell. There's nothing preventing the Krill Warrior from attacking at 146. When that unit activated, he could have stood up, forfeiting movement, and used his action to attack." And actually, that was a case where the one guy I was thinking of, he was just too far. He wasn't within the half-inch melee range. So you're right. I could have. When I did the narration, oftentimes I'll confuse the when I narrate them after editing everything with what actually happened. I'm getting better at making notes, but sometimes you see one thing and you remember it one way when it was actually something different. So in the case of that one guy, he was not quite within melee range. I didn't quite do my charge well enough. I have to admit, coming from Warhammer 40,000, where as long as someone's within 2 inches or 3 inches of the guys in the front row, you get to attack. Having to remember that you have to be within that range. All the guys have to be within that range. I'm still trying to process that and remember that in the middle of the game, because I'm thinking, oh, I moved these guys up. All the guys in the back row can hit as well. Yeah, well, they couldn't. So, and And Will Parr commented, said, I'm not sure the camera angle, but it looked like the Impaler was blocking the line of sight for the shot on Janessa at 325, and there was maybe a quarter of an inch between the two bases, because it was one of those cases where I'm thinking, oh, he just got it like that. So, but that was a legal shot. We double checked that, and unfortunately, I had to agree. Ben always clarifies too. I have to admit, he's a great guy to play against, because he always says, "This is what I see. Do you see it as well?" So he's always confirming with me. So we do have that confirmation while we're playing, and just not the assumption. But we just don't. That stuff doesn't get captured on the film. So, and Travirtija said, why is Ben saving so much focus? He gives 2 focus to Jax, meaning he has 4 left since he has upkeeps for free on his battle group. Could do 1 obliteration for that, or give more to Rosetta, so he could boost the damage. That I'm not sure the logic behind that for Ben. I don't know if he was camping just to have the extra armor, or what the logic was behind it. But Ben, assuming you're going to watch it, comment below. Tell us what you thought, what the logic behind it. Ben's YouTube name is Goblin Games, so you can reach out to him if you want to reach a PM him that way through YouTube. So there you go, throwing you under the bus and giving out your username. I'm 2 for 2. Okay, Melkin1273 on YouTube said you should always roll to hit. If you roll double ones, it's an auto fail, so there's always a slim chance you'll miss. And then Vidaughter93 responded, when attacking in melee, the target is knocked down, so you hit automatically. You don't have to roll a hit. You do have to roll a hit when a range attack, since when you shoot, they treat the knockdown model as a defense 5, so double ones is a miss. So those are both correct. Where I think in this case I think in some of the cases where we only needed 1, or I don't think there were any of them were ranged. I think they were actually melee attacks. Vichy Swell from Mini Wargaming says, it would not be best to use the lock first and use the Warlock first and cast Fire Strike onto the Impaler, leaving the Impaler with 3 Fury to definitely hit, and then do some extra damage on its targets. And that, to be honest, is something I didn't really realize, that you can use the Warlock to cast the Animus from the War Beast. So that was something that I really should have been aware of, and I have to admit, I didn't really realize that, or I may have read it and just completely forgot about it in the game. So that's going forward. I'm definitely going to start using that as an option, depending on how my Fury management is going. With Madrick only having 5 Fury, sometimes, especially if you take the Curlstone, you're having to sort of, that first couple turns, you're sort of going to be running low on Fury. So, but I have been better remembering to poke my beast to get or push my beast to get that extra Fury, just to make sure I'm not lacking anything by the time I need it later in the game. So, and Darth Sexy 9 from YouTube says, when Vanguard moved around the Axer, the Impaler should get a free strike. I think, and again, we talked about as it was moving, it was just, he kept barely in that area, but he did keep it in the side, so it was, he negated or avoided the free strike. Spectre Sans from Mini Wargaming said, when the Kroll Warriors moved away from the Warjack, he should be getting a free strike against them. That one, I think it was the same thing. I made a point of making sure I say just, like, we were just tiny little bits out from being into the free strike range, but I believe in that case it was just, we did move it just enough. When shooting in a melee and you miss, I believe you need to make the roll to see if it hits another model. I'm not sure who would have, and I don't think we did that. I think it's just a case we forgot it. But you're right. There's been a couple cases we did that in the game with when it was the Mercenary Cricks combo versus my Trollbloods. I think it was a couple BatReps ago. We did that where one, he tried to hit one, and we had to figure out who else. So we've done it in the past. I think we just forgot it in this case. Darth Sexy 9 from Part 5 of YouTube said, great, also great BatRep as always. Thank you, appreciate that. Not a fan of reggae music, but otherwise your videos are nice. See, I like that music, and I originally picked it out because I was doing Warhammer 40,000 Orc BatReps, and to me that music really suits the Orcs sort of nature, because that's the goofy nature I sort of envision in my head, not the bloodthirsty, hit you over the head with stuff until you die, more of the goofy soccer hooligans, reggae fan type guys. And when I moved into the Trollbloods, that's sort of the reason why I sort of kept it. To me, the Trollbloods are like the Orcs of Warmachine Hordes. So I may consider other music. I just find that they're really suspenseful and stuff like that. the key points of that music never hits when the drama is actually happening when I'm narrating it. So I always find it a little bit distracting. But I'll see what. Actually, comment below. Do you like the music as I'm using right now, or would you like to see something else? Just comment below and let me know. And Melkin1273. Oh man, you're on fire with the Impalers. Very enjoyable to see. Thank you. Yeah, I was hitting criticals like crazy. I just wish they were able to do more with the fact that the Magnus, the Trader, has that ability to be knocked down, and then you can't target him with anything. It kept knocking him down, then not being able to run anything up to actually do any damage to him. So it was very frustrating. Shadowzora13 from YouTube says, when you have excess fury on a beast, make a threshold check. If you pass, the fury stays on the beast. You can only drop it after failing and frenzying, and that is exactly correct, and I was misreading the rules. So Ben and I actually went through that and talked about it after the game and realized that it was the only remove it after the frenzy as you fail the threshold check. So that is correct. So that was, I get at least one or two things wrong in every game, so that was the one for this. Steam Power TV said, good game, sucks about the battery going dead. I've been there before, and I've only had this happen once before. I've got a new camera and they updated the code, and now my battery doesn't last as long. So I have since got out and bought a new battery, so I have two, so we shouldn't see that again. And thank you to Steam Power TV for subscribing, because I like watching your stuff, so it's nice you're watching mine. And Prozac112 for Mini Wargaming said, you should use your Axer to thresh through the Halberders, and the Krills combined melee attack against the Light Jack. Impalers did great though. Yeah, there's a lot of tactical stuff I really need to work on. I'm sort of working through some of my head, and as you'll see in the next game, and I know this is the way that you should run the trolls, and I'm still trying to get my head around it. You need to be aggressive. The whole game you need to be aggressive. You have to get in there and run. I'm still the mindset, well, I want to protect everything and put them in the least amount of damage while inflicting the most amount of damage, and I don't think you can keep them back and do that. So I really have to sort of reassess my play style and get guys up and realize that the Krill Warriors are going to die. Realize that some of the beasts are going to die, and get them in there and try to cause as much havoc as possible before that happens. So. And then Guafa from the Privateer Press Forum put a link to how to present or how to pronounce Rosetta. Thank you. Appreciate that. Excuse me. Sven from the Google Plus Warma Hordes community said, nice BatRep. He goes, may I ask why if you applied damage to the Merc caster when he was slammed over the jack? Didn't notice this. And why haven't you tried to shoot the caster when he was slammed down? Only defense 5, and I covered that. The Magnus, the Trader, has an ability, and I didn't write it down, I should have, that basically prevents him from being targeted when he's knocked down. So it would have been fantastic. If he didn't have that thing, I could have been just throwing stuff at him left, right, and center with the two Impalers, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. So yeah, the Magnus was an interesting guy to go up against. So Power Ranger 3 for Mini Wargaming said, and this is something I have a question for you guys. Why did you put your videos in so many parts? I feel it's more spam and prefer to load at least once and not click through 5 videos. Good BatRep though. And Spectre Seance and Vichysois sort of agreed with this. And typically, I mean, bottom line, I like making the videos, but I do it for my channel and I monetize my channel so I can get something back. And I think everyone realizes that. I know there's some people that don't believe in that, other people that say that's fine. For the amount of work that I put in, because the average BatRep, it takes about 2 hours, 3 hours to film, then takes, for me, and I'm getting better at it, but still takes another 4 to 6 hours to edit together. So I mean, you're talking about 10 hours altogether. 10 hours of my time when I'm not painting. To me, I think there's value in monetizing it and getting something back. Now, my original idea was to keep them between 7 and 10 minutes, like 6, 7, 8 minutes per part, and with Warmachine, typically I can get to first couple turns, maybe just the first turn with the initial review, get that done, and break it into 2 or 3 parts. And I've had one game which was fast, that was only 1 part, because I think it was like 8 minutes in total, and I wasn't going to break it down. This was sort of a test to see what the tolerance was. And to be honest, with 3 people commenting right away saying they didn't like it was breaking up, I probably won't do it that way. I will do it if I can hit past 6 minutes or 7 minutes, I probably will break it down at that point, so it's 2 or 3 parts. But I don't think I'm going to do it per turn. This was just a test to see if I can do it per turn and see what the response was, and obviously it wasn't that positive. So I'll go back, and as you can see, the next one was I think we did 5 turns. Or 4 turns or 5 turns, and it wound up being in 2 parts. So, but that was also a very quick game. So, thanks for the comments for that, and I appreciate everyone who watches and puts up with the commercials and such. Because again, for the amount of time I put into it, I kind of want something back. Not that I don't like doing it, just putting 10 hours per game into a video, and for when I could be doing something else, it just doesn't work. And I'm trying to make I don't know if I've talked about this before, I'm trying to make or at least help my hobby be a net zero hobby, where I'll do stuff for the community, I'll do the videos and do stuff like that, and then use the revenue to go put stuff back into my hobby rather than taking money out of my household budget. So that's sort of my approach for it. So, but again, thanks everyone for watching. So that's the end of the rules we got wrong for this for BatRep number 5. I'm actually going to film the one for number 6 right after we're done. So you can watch that one after if you haven't watched the game. So, but as always, appreciate the comments because it feeds into this video, and also make sure that whoever we're playing, we're doing things right. Because I mean, at this point, I think I'm up to about 10 or 12 games I've played. So I'm still relatively new, although I seem to be picking up more things and getting a better feel for the game. So, but if you have any suggestions, I am looking at picking up some new models for my Trollbloods probably in the next month or 2. If you have any suggestions, I'm thinking I really would like to get some of the cavalry, because I know that the cavalry and the steamroller 2013 seem to have a little bit more of an impact. Or I could also I'm also thinking about maybe picking up Mulg or another beast. There's a lot of stuff I want to get, but we'll see. But I'm just curious. Comment below what you think. Should it be cavalry? Should it be Mulg? Should I fill out my Crow Warriors? Should I get the Fen Blades instead? Scatter Gunners? Tell me, if I'm going to buy something knowing what I have, and look at the video and you pretty much see what I have, let me know what else I should pick up. Okay? Well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll be doing another battle report. Actually, this weekend I'm filming one with Les against his Khador. So, so watch that one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll talk to you soon.